All right, what's up YouTube? How's it going? Today's a special day. I mean, not really special, but a day I've been looking forward to. Today we're gonna be talking about the Yamaha R7. Is it a good beginner sports bike? I'm gonna give you a couple pros and cons, and then you're gonna decide whether you think it's a good beginner sports bike. In my opinion, I do think it is. And in fact, I think it's the best beginner sports bike. Let's get straight into it. So let's talk about the R7 a little bit. Firstly, the R7 is a twin cylinder, so it has that very deep, throaty baritone sound on the engine, you know, as opposed to the R6 that is a 4-cylinder, which has the R7 we have the you get the point. The Yamaha R7, she's light, she's nimble. What am I trying to say? If you're a professional, I reckon you can beat every single person on track day, literally because of that weight advantage. I can bet money that if you're that good, you can beat any single person on track day because of that weight advantage. Of course, coupled with your skills and expertise. You get the point. As opposed to the R6 with 4-cylinder, the R6 does pretty well in horsepower. But the R7 on the other hand, which is just a 2-cylinder, not so great. But what she is good in, or what she does have great in, is the torque. So at low speeds, she's quite friendly, you know, but the moment you give this guy or this girl a little bit of horsepower, because of the amount of torque she has, you're gonna realize that, oh shit, this girl can move. But now, here's a little caveats. If I'm using that word correctly, it sounds smart, so I'm using it anyways. Here's a little problem with that. Because of the amount of torque it has, of course, in that very steep learning curve, it's kind of easy to make mistakes. She's friendly, but the moment you give her just too much gas, if like exactly, that's another point, right? She's gonna teach you how to throttle control. The moment you give too much gas, you're literally, I promise you, your front tire is gonna pick up. I cannot count the amount of times that I've given throttle and right off the red light, I've given throttle and it was just too much. And I like, you know, you kind of like, if you don't, at that time I already had like a couple years of experience, right? Like at least 2 years, right? And but I was still kind of like, so imagine if I was a really new rider, most likely that might have been a crash. But anyways, the moment you give a little bit of throttle, like too much throttle, it's gonna go, it's gonna like literally pick right up. And that's the issue, right? Now that's a little con in regards to that point. Moving on. If you're not the type of guy that's into wheelies like I am, this might not be a deal breaker. But again, because of the amount of torque, this bad girl is very easy to wheelie. I've spoken with a lot of people that have worked with, that have ridden the R7, and they always say the same thing. She is a wheelie demon. She's very easy to pick up. In the second gear, the moment you clutch down, she's up immediately. Again, because of that torque. So if you're a new rider, you don't want to, like, you know, kill yourself with the R1, with the type of torque the R1 has, or the 1,000 liter bikes. You know what I mean. This is kind of like the next best thing. Second gear, pull in the clutch, she's up. She's right up. Moving on. I started with a Ninja 500. And after 3 weeks, I got tired of it. Why is that? A lot of people talk about this, but why is that really? The Ninja 500 is about 50 horsepower, I think, if I remember correctly. And my biggest problem with that is that over time, like after like a month, I wanted to go, but I wanted to go at full throttle. Have you ever heard the saying, something around the likes of shift down and then disappear? And then a lot of people would mock the lower bikes, something shift down and stay right there, something around the likes of that. But that actually was the case. I'd shift down 3, 2, 1, and then I'm not even joking, like full throttle, full wrist. I just wasn't going anywhere. So I kind of hated it. Like I got bored of it pretty quick, pretty fast. Now that's the thing with the R7. The R7 is almost like the sweet spot. It's like the sweet spot, like, nice. If you know what I'm saying. It's not too fast like the liter bikes where it's gonna get you killed. But it's not too slow like the 300s, the 400s, and the 500s where you get bored quick. It's like just at the right spot. Even the 600s could be arguably too fast for new riders. So it's not too fast like the 600s and the 1000s, and not too slow like the 300s and the 500s. It's right at the middle, and it's perfect. It has the right torque and it has the right speed to not only keep you entertained but not kill you. On the highway, the moment I say, you know what, I want to go, I shift down, I'm pulling throttle, I'm gone. Like, that's what I want. But it's like, I don't want to get to like 150 miles per hour in like 3 seconds and die, you know? So it's just perfect. It's just perfect. As a new rider, it's gonna keep you entertained and it's not gonna kill you. You just gotta learn a little bit of throttle control, a little bit of throttle discipline. Now, another thing with the Ninja 500 that I always hated was the ergonomics. I'm the type of rider, I love an aggressive look. I love to pull up at a stoplight and everyone's looking at me like, damn, who is that guy? You know, I love an aggressive look. I love that super leaning forward, like super bulky look on my bike. The Ninja 500 couldn't give that to me. The thing with lower CC bikes is that they're always very skinny. The tires are skinny, the body is skinny, the bodywork is skinny, the handlebars are so high, they're super high up. Like that was the one thing I never understood. Like why wasn't there ever an option to lower the handlebars? It was always so high. I don't want to look like I'm riding like a Grum or like a keke. But like, yeah, I just hated it. Like I didn't want to look like that, and I was looking like it's so goofy, right? The moment I stumbled upon this bike, I was like, yeah, this gotta be it. I saw the way it looked. It had that chunky look that I wanted. The handlebars were perfect. They weren't high. They were like the closest things to the R1 in terms of like that super aggressive leaning forward look. That is what I like. I love to look aggressive. I love to, again, at the stoplight, I want to be looking like I'm mugging everyone, right? At the red light. As you can see, guys, you see how thick the tires are? Holy, just looking at it now just makes me feel so good in a type of way that I think I enjoy. Anyways, you see how thick the tires are? So it's like, it looks good. To me, in my opinion, and my theory is, the chunkier the tire, the more aggressive you look. Does anybody agree with me? Even in cars. And if you're the type of person that you like that aggressive style, that aggressive look, oh boy, this might just be your bike as well. The Yamaha R7, straight out the dealership, 0 miles, stock exhaust, is probably the worst sounding bikes you could ever imagine. It sounds so bad. Stock exhaust though, stock exhaust. But the moment you slap this bad girl with one of these guys, a full system, oh my God. I can argue that it's probably one of the best sounding bikes out there. I might be exaggerating because it's my bike, but hey, that's pretty fair, right? So like I said, you decide. You've heard a couple points that I've given, and honestly, most of them lean majorly to the aggressive side of things. So if you're the type of rider, the type of new rider that's not really into that aggressive look, aggressive style, then yeah, I guess the R7 is not that great of an option. But if you're a new rider entering into the motorcycle scene, and you like sports bike and you like sports bikes and you want to look aggressive, yo, honestly, I think the R7 is probably the best bike you can get out there. And I didn't even mention this. It's a good looking bike. What the hell? Like, look at her. I bought her blue, but I had to like change the color and change. I have a whole video on that, but I had to like change the fairing, change the color, all of that stuff. I'm not into, the blue stuff, no. I mean, the rims are blue, the tail is blue, yeah, that's cool. I made it into like a style. The lights are blue, but it's majorly a black bike, right? So it's a good looking bike. Like, yeah, if you do have any questions you want to ask, like, yo, by all means, like, shoot me a DM, wherever it may be, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Shoot me a DM, like, let me know. I got you, and yeah, man, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.